Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 191. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody.
Dane, Cody, and I get together once a week, except for last week, because I was a jerk and went on vacation, and talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Welcome and thank you everyone for tuning in, or realistically downloading or streaming us on your player of choice. If you've never been here before, we usually start the show with our BS section, which we are just about to step into. What you've been playing, where we discuss the hottest, most amazing games that Dane and I are wasting our life away on. Get into some news and stuff, and public service announcements, and sometimes we have some free-for-all, and right now that section's empty, so let's not worry about it.
All right.
So did you miss me, Dane?
I didn't necessarily miss you, but I definitely missed recording last week. More than I thought I would, actually. Like, I don't know. Like, I definitely missed it.
You had guests, though, didn't you?
I did. I had people over. And you know what's funny is that in hindsight, I actually probably totally could have recorded a podcast with who I had staying with me. And I didn't even think about it till, like, the night before they left. And I was like, oh, shit, we totally could have just sat down and recorded a podcast together. Like, he's kind of a nerd, and we could have talked about some of the stuff that he's playing, and like, yeah, it was kind of funny.
That would have been easy to edit.
I know. I was like, geez, that, like, in hindsight, that was kind of dumb of me. Why didn't I do that? But anyways, hindsight.
I could have
right?
just downloaded it and slapped on our intro. Done.
I know. So,
everyone yell at Dane.
Yeah, that was kind of on me and kind of dumb. So.
I was busy chilling on the beautiful beaches of Maui. There was no way I was recording a podcast. Man, I need a vacation from my vacation. I'm so freaking tired. We came back on a red eye, which is just like a total kick in the nuts. Like, literally, you go to the airport and the guy's like, spread your legs. I'm like, okay. And then he just kicks you right in the nuts.
Ooh. Before
you get on the plane. Red eyes suck.
It seems like every time I fly to or from Hawaii, I'm usually flying there, not on a red eye, but when I fly home, I'm always on a red eye, and I hate that about it. I really do.
I don't know why it doesn't have to be, but for whatever reason, leaving Hawaii, like, in the daylight hours is super expensive.
Yeah, unless, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's because of the time change, like, because you get to spend a whole day in Hawaii, like, for the final day or whatever, and then you jump on a plane and you fly home. But I don't know, man. You fly out of Hawaii at 10 o'clock at night, and then you get home and it's like fucking 3 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning or something like that. It's like,
or your flight gets delayed and you leave at 1 in the morning.
Yeah,
it sucked. Anyway, the trip was amazing. Oh my god, I've never been to Maui. I've just been to Oahu a bunch of times.
Yeah,
because we have a place to stay there, but like, we've never been to Maui, and we went for a trip with my sister and her husband, our buddy Vert, who we play games with and we've mentioned on the show before. Yeah, it was awesome. Oh my god, it was such a good trip. Sorry everyone, you can skip this section a couple minutes if you don't want to hear any stories, or do you think they want to hear crazy stories?
Oh, all the stories, obviously. That's why they're here.
So we got a good deal, and we stayed at a very fancy hotel. And I will say that the service was like some of the best service I've ever had. But I guess that just comes part and parcel. If you're an idiot who pays way too much for a hotel stay, they, I guess, make an attempt to make it worthwhile and treat you real good and are super nice and getting you everything. And anyway, we stayed at the Ritz in Kapalua.
Oh, look at you, fancy man.
Yeah, we got a deal. We didn't pay that much, so that's the funny thing. We saved some money. It wasn't much more than like renting a condo or something.
Okay.
Though we did obviously be in a hotel, like, it cost us in other ways, like expensive ass food and stuff like that. But Hawaii is expensive as a tourist. It's expensive unless you have a condo and go grocery shopping and do that. But even groceries are ridiculous in Hawaii. Like, we went to Safeway. Holy crap! Like, the cereal's like $6-7 American. I pay like $5 Canadian or less. That's like just for stupid things. That's like ridiculous.
That's actually obviously one of the things that always, like, back in the day when I was dating my wife, when she was my girlfriend, and the Canadian dollar was worth nothing compared to the American dollar. That was the one thing that always threw me with when I'd go to like the convenience store. I'd go to like a 7-Eleven in the US, and like when I crossed the border, I would hand them like $100 Canadian, and they would give me like $60 back. Ugh. And yet I would go to a 7-Eleven, and like all the shit was almost the same price. I couldn't believe it. Like all the snacks, all the like drinks, all that shit was like, yeah, it was still like $1 for a soda. It was still like all of that stuff. I was just like, man, these guys are getting ripped. But of course, I was getting super ripped off because like I was getting the conversion on top of that, and it was like, whoa.
The exchange rate just kills. That's why they love coming here, right?
Yeah,
because the stuff's the same price, and then they instantly get 30% more for their dollar. It's like, yay, Canada!
Mm-hmm.
And legalize weed. Woo! Yeah, but obviously there's a tax. You're in Maui, Hawaii. It's islands. It's getting the stuff there. But
yeah, no, that's fair.
So we were staying at this dope-ass resort. It's a 5-star. And my sister worked some magic and got us a free dinner.
Right.
And I will say I know what it's like to be a celebrity or like a very rich person because we went ridiculous. Well, we didn't go ridiculous. The waiter went ridiculous. As soon as the waiter knew that our dinner was comped, he was like, oh, we're going to have some fun tonight. And he just started bringing us out everything. He's like, you're going to have all the best stuff on our menu.
That's awesome.
Expensive bottle of wine, all the fancy appetizers, the amazing meal. Oh my, it was ridiculous. It was like the definition of gluttony. It was unreal. I'm like, wow. So this is what it feels like to be like a millionaire or just someone who doesn't know limit. Or no limits, you know what I mean? Like, just there's no in their vocabulary, and they don't sweat it because they can afford it. It was stupid. It was amazing. It was unreal. That was pretty. I don't know how she finagled that. And then she got us. And then she got us a cabana for the day. Man, I will tell you, when you have a cabana at a 5-star resort, and it's the only cabana in use because they're very expensive to get, you get a lot of looks by everyone that walks by, wondering like, what the hell's that guy do? Like, what? Man, he must be loaded. He's got a cabana. Oh, man.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I might have been kicking a buzz by 11 in the morning.
You're on vacation. Fuck yeah, of course you are.
Well, they serve you champagne in the bloody cabana. And food.
Yeah?
It was stupid. It was awesome.
You're surprised by this, dude?
I've never had a cabana before.
Okay, if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that the more wealthy you are, the more shit you get for free.
It's not wealthy.
Weird. So, like, when we got married, we had the craziest suite at the place that we got married at in Hawaii, and like presidential suite, insane, and it was rad. But like every day we would go out to the beach, or we would go do our thing, and we'd come back and there'd be like fresh champagne in our room. They would restock the fridge with like beer and alcohol and a bottle of red and a bottle of white. That was every day. Like the first day I thought like, oh, that's really nice of them to do that. No, every single day that we were there, they were just like, they would like send up, like one day they had a big fruit platter that they got sent up to us. Another day there was like chocolate and like strawberries and like all, and it was just like, I was, what? Okay, and it was all included. None of that. Like that, I trust me. I checked the bill hard later on. But
you
like,
paid for it, but you didn't pay for it.
Right, exactly. And it's just like I couldn't believe it. I was holy shit, man. All the like. So yeah, the adage that the wealthier you are, the more shit you get for free, which doesn't make any sense at all. Because if you're wealthy, you can afford to buy it. It's all true though. So go figure.
Yeah, it's like celebrity. It was pretty funny because as people are walking by. Well, I'll be honest, it was mostly women, right?
Right.
Because I don't think the dudes really cared that much. But it was always women would walk by and like just like look. Some of them would smile. And other ones would just walk by and look. And clearly they're just thinking, like, okay, this guy's got a lot of money. Like, and then meanwhile, I'm just thinking in my head, I got this shit for free, you suckers. I'm a baller, yeah. Like, yeah, that's me. Smoking a cigar. I'm super rich. That's why I got a cabana at the Ritz. Oh. Meanwhile, we got it for free. It was a pretty rad trip. We went and saw a bunch of the sights. Man, Maui's beautiful. Like, I understand why some people like it as one of their favorite islands, because you can't throw a rock without hitting a beach.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
you don't have to drive anywhere to find a beach. There's so many, and they're all nice, sandy beaches.
Right.
You know, Oahu's a nice island. Like, I love Oahu. Don't get me wrong, but Oahu is still a big city with traffic jams.
I'm intimately familiar.
Yeah. Whereas when you're on Maui, there is some traffic in sections of Maui just because of one-lane roads. But when you're in Maui, it's like, okay, you kind of feel like you're a little more disconnected from the real world.
Right.
Like, they have Target and Costco and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they're not total, like, deserted island, but it's beautiful. It was nice. We saw the blowhole. We went down to Kihei and Lahaina, and yeah, anyway, we went all over the place. We had some nice pool and Sundays. It was awesome. Saw whales. We saw like 10 or 20 whales just from the shore. Like, breaching humpbacks.
That's awesome.
Like, how amazing is that? Like, you don't even have to freaking go in a boat.
Huh.
It was ridiculous. And turtles.
I love sea turtles, man. When we were there, we went snorkeling, and not Maui, but Hawaii, and like, swimming with the turtles is rad.
Yeah, I remember when we went snorkeling in Oahu, this place called Electric Beach, which is probably the best snorkeling I've ever done. I've snorkeled in a few places. Yeah, we were swimming with turtles. That was cool. That was really cool. Anyway, that was my trip. It was amazing. And I need a vacation from my vacation.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, it was good. The only downside is like, you come back, it's like negative weather and negative degrees and snowing. That was the first. No, that was the second kick in the nuts after the red eye. But then the weather sucked getting back, and then it's like, then I'm so tired, and then I'm just like, man, what am I doing with my life? I wish I lived in Maui.
Yep.
It's like such a beautiful place, and it's like, what am I doing? It just makes me question my existence sometimes. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah,
I love where I live, but the weather isn't that awesome. It's good in the summer, but
yeah, it's hard though. I don't know. I've definitely talked to like people about it, and like, if I think that if I moved to, you know, say Hawaii, for example, I'd just be doing the same shit. It would just be hot and muggy out all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what my wife said. She's like, if we lived here, we'd have the same bullshit from home, mortgage and bills, and
yeah, it's just the difference is that it would be sunny all the time, and like it would kind of just be like summer. Like, it would just be one season all the time, right? So like, I don't know if I would actually appreciate, like, it's amazing to go there as a vacation because you're there as a tourist. You're there on vacation. It's
grass
rad.
Is greener.
Yeah, but like, if I was to actually live there, I don't know if I would actually like appreciate it. I mean, there would be moments where I'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that I live here. This is amazing." But I swear, like, most of the time, I think it would be pretty much like, "Yep, I gotta go to work. I gotta go do my job. Gotta drive around and do the same thing I do now."
And now I stink because it's super hot and muggy.
But it's just like muggy and I'm all gross all the time. Like, yeah, I don't, like, yeah. Yeah. You know, and on the weekends and shit, I'm still going to be just as exhausted as I am here when I get home. And like,
it's true. Yeah. And then you don't even go to the beach because you're just like, screw it, I just want to stay home.
Right. Exactly. Because you're tired, and yeah. So I don't know. It's funny. But yeah.
Do you want to get into it, or do you got something to share?
No, man. I've had a pretty low key few weekends here. So we can totally just dive into what the hell we've been playing.
What have you been playing? I saw your Twitter tweets and complaints and getting angry. The day after, I know the day I left, the Anthem beta started. The VIP demo.
Yeah,
not a beta.
There was
demo.
The VIP demo that came out. That they should have just called it a fucking beta, because holy shit.
Yeah, from what I got, it barely worked for people. At least on PC. I don't know if it was better on console.
I tried both, and it was exactly the same on both. It was not great. So like I downloaded it. I started playing it. Well, I started trying to play it. So initially when the game came out, what was happening, at least for me, like I didn't play on the Friday, which to be fair, like people couldn't even connect to the Anthem, like to the
that was, I saw that on my Twitter from like everyone.
Yeah, so like that was a big thing on Friday when everybody was just like, well, this is just broken. So I started playing it on Saturday morning when I got up and I tried to get in. And what was happening for me was, and this was happening for a lot of people. I know that in their like initial like response or whatever when they were talking about it, like, oh yeah, you know, and we've had a small amount of people, or that we've had a small amount of people that are having this bug, and I'm like, every single person that I'm like reading on my Twitter and I'm watching on Twitch is having this issue. This is not a small fucking issue. Like this is clearly an issue that a lot of people have. And I had it across PS4 and PC where I tried to play both. And it was, what would happen is I would load into the sort of like hub world, if you will, in Anthem. Mm-hmm. It's like kind of it's like their version of the tower, but you're by yourself. And then that's kind of where like some of the single player sort of story missions.
The tower in Destiny, for those who don't know what that reference was.
Yeah. And so you'd go there and you'd talk to people and kind of get missions and stuff like that. So like all of that worked fine. So like I went out and I talked to some dude and I got a mission and I was like, okay, cool. So then I wandered over to the area where you launch your javelin. And so I jumped in my javelin, which is all cool. And then it would just load. It would just load and load and load and load and load. And then when it finally actually stopped loading, I was at about 95% of because you get a little bar across the top of the screen, and about 95% of the way there, it would just stop and it would just sit there forever. Like I let it. The first time it happened, I was like, oh man, maybe this is just like something seems a little off. So I mean, I probably left it for half an hour the first time it happened. And I was like, okay, this is insane. So I was like, okay, well, because like I got up and I, used the washroom, grabbed a coffee, like kind of, did a little bit of busy work. I figured I would like come back and it would be in the like loaded up, and it was just sitting there. So I was like, okay, clearly it's borked. So I closed the game, and then you try to load back in, same issue. So it's essentially what I found was that some people, the only way that we were able to get in was, what would happen is it would hit that bar. And then what you do is you'd have to force quit everything, and then relaunch the game. And it would essentially say, we see that you already have a session in progress. Would you like to reconnect? And you say yes. And then it would actually throw you back. It would load properly, and it would throw you into that session. But for that first weekend, I probably played, I don't know. I essentially finished like this. There's a few story missions that they did. I finished those, but I mean, I never saw the beginning of any mission because I was exiting out and launching back in, and so like just the technical stuff was pretty brutal. And it was hard to, I think, especially for the VIP demo. I think it was hard to disconnect the bad and like that. The technical issues,
a lot of people did not
aside
very happy
from like the gameplay, because it's just like in the back of your mind, you're like, is this the way this game is gonna fucking be? Like, we're 3 weeks away from launch, and this is their like beta or their demo or whatever. That this is supposed to be their VIP demo,
not beta demo.
Yeah,
if they said beta, I think it might have not been so
totally, because that's kind of what that is, right? Off. Is it's supposed to be, But seeing as this was the VIP demo for the people that had like Origin Premium or pre-ordered the game or were influencers or whatever, like most of the people that were there playing it were people that had kind of paid to play it or whatever.
Yeah,
right,
you
early.
Pre-ordered the game.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's how I got the code. I pre-ordered it and I couldn't play, so I fired you my code.
Right. So needless to say, that was a little bit disheartening. That said, though, I did manage to play it.
Did you play it again when
I did the following weekend?
Open demo?
So last weekend, the first they which was a week later, they essentially launched the same demo for everybody with some fixes. So there was a client side update to push out fixes for people, as well as a server side update to which they obviously did in the background or whatever. But I didn't uninstall the game, and I know when I went to play it again last weekend, there was like a big update that they were like, hey, download the update the game or whatever. So I definitely know they pushed out some fixes, and I will say that the last weekend when I played, I didn't have any issues getting in and playing the game. It actually just worked properly.
I didn't have it when I got back. I played it on Saturday when I got back.
Right.
And I didn't have any issues. I played a couple story missions. And I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much what I played in the closed alpha back in December that I couldn't talk about.
Yeah. It sounds like this was a fairly old build of the game, which is kind of funny. They were saying apparently that build was about 6 weeks old 2 weeks ago. So at this point, it's like it was been like 8 weeks old or whatever. So, you know, but I guess that's kind of the build that they had that was small, that would like worked properly. So they kind of done some updating.
Okay, well, I played at the start of December.
Yeah, there you go.
In closed alpha.
Yeah.
And this is February, and it felt exactly the same. So
yeah. So like I said, I don't know.
So what did you think?
Being said,
issues aside?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like that aside, like I don't know. Like if anything, it's weird because like if anything, the demo last weekend, I think in some ways almost made me less sure about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like initially when I saw the videos and I watched the previews and everything else, I was like, oh man, this looks fucking rad. Like this looks kind of like a Destiny-esque type game.
The unveiling at E3 a couple of years ago, I was like, whoa, this looks like
totally.
rad.
This looks
Iron
awesome.
Man suits, freaking sci-fi, open world. This is like right up my alley.
Totally. So like I was pretty excited about all that. I was like, oh man, this is like, that looks amazing. And then playing it, it was like, it's definitely part of it is like, and again, these are things that they said that have been sort of they've worked on in the final build. But like one of the issues that I definitely noticed was like you can clearly tell it was made to be played with a controller.
Yeah.
I played it on, obviously, like I said, I tried to play it on PS4, but I didn't actually ever get into a game on PS4, so I ended up just playing it on PC. But like trying to fly with the mouse was pretty terrible, and apparently, like I said, they said that they've fixed that, and like it feels a lot better in the final game. I had to play with a
controller. Not that I wanted to play with keyboard and mouse.
I did play it that way, and I did, to be fair, get more comfortable with it, and I did feel like it was a little less. I even feel like they tweaked it last weekend compared to the first time I played, which was good. Game looks incredible. It runs.
It looks really good.
I was surprised. A lot of people were complaining about how bad it ran. I understand on console it did not run great across either. Didn't seem to matter if you had a 1X or a PS4 Pro. Like it kind of was across the board. Did not run great.
30 frames a second. And dipping apparently.
Yeah. Whereas like I was running between like 80 and 150 more or less all the time. Which is great.
I didn't have my frame counter up, but it felt smooth. So
yeah,
I know I was over 60.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, the trick is apparently with the console version, if you have a PS4 Pro, and I assume it works with the X as well, is if you set your output resolution to 1080p.
Oh, to lock it at 1080p versus allowing it to go up.
Yeah, then you get a much better frame rate. That's what Digital Foundry was saying.
Yeah, and again, like those are all technical things that can totally be tweaked and you know, but like I said, like it ran great for me. I didn't notice any performance issues, at least. One thing I will definitely notice, or one of the things that I did really notice, was the like pop in, like definitely like and I mean, again, I think it's their server load was just getting hammered so hard on those weekends. Like, but there was a few times where like I was flying along and all of a sudden I essentially got shot out of the sky but there was no enemies. Like none of the enemies, like none of the enemies or anything had like loaded onto my side of this, like the client side yet. So like things were happening on the server, but I wasn't even aware of it. And then all of a sudden, like kind of everything suddenly like popped in, and I was like, oh shit, there's like 15 dudes here, and like so like little things like that. But again, those are technical things that I think will totally get sorted for launch, and then not even necessarily for launch, but those are things that will get sorted. I don't know though. Like shooting kind of feels meh. Like I will say that I think the starting mech or starting like suit is terrible. Javelin. Like the ranger suit is kind of shitty. I ended up playing most of my time in the storm suit, which is pretty rad. You feel like you're raining.
That's a lot better.
Like, yeah, it was a lot more fun.
Apparently they're very distinct, the different suits. That's like I told you.
I did not like the Colossus. I tried the Colossus and I was like, this is not my jam at all.
After I played the closed alpha, and you'll remember, like that's what I told you is like I just don't know. I'm like, when I played Division and when I played the original Destiny and even Destiny 2's betas and Division 1's beta, I came away from those like, I gotta play more. That was awesome. Yeah. I want to play more. And then I played that closed alpha. And then again, this most recent demo of Anthem. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's polished. It works. But it doesn't necessarily feel really good killing enemies. Like the movement's okay and the shooting's okay. It's all just okay. It's just not awesome.
Yeah.
Like the guns felt like staplers. There was no heft to any of the weapons or attacks.
No, I agree with that. I don't think the shooting feels great.
And we're going to compare it to Destiny because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it
or even the Division,
right?
Which because the Division is a third-person game at least, right? But the guns don't feel like they have any impact, and even compared to something like the Division, those guns feel pretty good. Like they feel like they've got some weight to them, and the bullets and the impact and stuff. It was weird because I felt like I played the demo. I did all the story missions. I got into a different javelin. I flew around in that javelin. I leveled up to the max, which was level 15 in the demo that you could get. So you could level from. You started at level 10, and then you could go up to level 15. So I hit level 15. I did, like I said, I did all the story missions. Then I did free roam. There was like 2 areas that you could free roam, so you could load into there and run around and like do worldwide stuff, kind of world events, similar to like Destiny.
Yeah, where farm for materials.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was essentially like kind of Anthem's version of like a strike, where like you and a team kind of go in. It's a little harder, and it's a multi-tiered thing that escalates into a big boss battle at the end.
Yeah, I believe that's what I played in the closed alpha. I didn't get to do it in the demo. I just ran out of time, and I'm like, I don't really want to play more. Like,
the weird thing was though, is that for me is that once all of that was done, I very much felt like, okay, I'm done. Like I didn't feel like there was another. I don't know, like I played around with the Colossus Titan a little, or the Javelin a little bit. Realized that I did not like the way that he handled or whatever. Not my jam, at least. I'm sure that there would be people that'll love that suit, just not for me. But like I don't know, like there was a thing where when Destiny launched the first time, that beta weekend, I pretty much, that's all I wanted to play. Like I played everything in it, and then I kept playing it, and I kept playing it. Like
even though there was nothing new to do.
Yeah, but there was something that seemed to keep pulling me back in.
The shooting.
Whereas with Anthem, it was like I kind of felt like I'd done everything, and I enjoyed it when I did it. Don't get me wrong; like it wasn't like the whole time I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible."
It's not terrible. It's just it's good.
When I was done, though, I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go play something else now." Like I felt like I'd kind of saw everything, and I was good.
Like, yeah, that's the thing. It's good, but like coming from BioWare and like the scale of it, I was just expecting awesome, and I think that's where I'm a little disappointed. Is that it's not like amazing. And you can see all the stuff that they cribbed from Destiny. There's so much Destiny influence in the design of this game. It's ridiculous.
Dude, this game feels like a weird amalgamation of The Division, Destiny, and Warframe all wrapped into one.
Oh, absolutely.
There's actually a lot more Warframe in Anthem than, well, you don't play Warframe, so you don't see it.
I played some Warframe.
Holy shit, man, there's a lot in there.
The movement and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, I guess we have a few weeks here, and like I'm gonna get it still. Like I don't know if I'm gonna get it through the EA Premier access or if I'm gonna find it.
I think that's
cheap.
what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna pick up EA Premier and I'm gonna go month to month.
Yeah,
like I know it's a lot cheaper if you buy a year, but like the thing is if I only play Anthem for like 2 months and then I want to drop off and I'm kind of done with it. EA doesn't really have anything else. Like, they have a great back catalog, but like I have a ton of games that I can play. I don't necessarily need to keep 5. And hey, FIFA? Maybe I could totally download it and play it through it, the single player.
Well, maybe your membership will last long enough for the Battle Royale to come out in Battlefield.
Yeah, but I figure I'll maybe do.
I was
month
thinking
to
that
month,
too because that's just $20. That's $20 to test drive.
Yeah. And then we'll see how it goes, and if it is something that I feel like, oh wow, this is maybe something I'm going to keep playing
get
for
it like
year.
Next week if you have that.
Yeah,
I think you get like
on the 15th.
Whole week early. That's ridiculous.
So I don't know. It was weird because like I played it and it was like on one hand I was like, oh okay, there's definitely something here, but on the other hand I was like, I don't know if this is as good. Like you said, I don't know if this is as good as I wanted it to be or I was hoping it was going to be, which is a weird thing to say about that.
Right now I'll wait to see what the final product is, but I don't know. The early impressions have just been kind of meh. Now, moving along, this other game that literally dropped out of the sky, out of the blue, Apex Legends.
You gotta get right into that.
Internet blew up on. So this is part and parcel with some of our news a little bit later. The announcement of this game was news on I think Sunday night. The rumors started being like, or Saturday even, maybe even Friday. It was like Respawn's got a battle royale game coming out. Okay,
well, and then did you? I don't know if you listened to the Bombcast this week or not. But
I was working, but I probably just didn't hear what they said.
So Brad from Giant Bomb, he last week when they recorded the podcast, at the end of the podcast, he was like, "Okay, I got to go catch a plane because I got to go down to see an unreleased game." So we found out this week that was obviously
this game,
Apex Legends. So he saw it on Friday, and apparently, I guess one of the developers or whatever, while he was down there, was like, "Yeah, so we got this event for like media and like the press and stuff like that, but tomorrow on Saturday, we're having a big thing with all the influencers." And Brad was pretty much like, "Okay, cool." And as soon as he got back, he's like, "We got to cut our footage together because this thing is going to leak all over the fucking internet. And they may even pull the embargo forward because it's going to leak so bad." It was just hilarious to like listen to him like talk about. I was laughing. I was driving today laughing out loud, literally, when he was explaining when he got back and he's like, "We got to cut this right now." Like
I didn't, I definitely haven't listened to this week's. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it was funny. So yeah,
well, yeah, that's basically what happened. Like, I
totally,
guess.
because like Saturday night, Sunday, there was already like fucking screenshots and people like, "Oh, there's like big news happening, can't wait to show everybody." It's just like, oh my gosh.
But the name didn't leak didn't get announced until like Sunday or something, right? I don't know. Anyway, so this just out of the blue, like everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah,
and here we are.
The guys that made Titanfall are apparently launching a fucking game. Like,
here we are, a BRG in the Titanfall freaking universe.
So it's a battle royale. It's 60 players, but they're in squads. So it's 20 squads of 3,
with hero type characters.
Yeah. I won't lie. I played a little bit of it last night. I played 4.
I can't stop.
I haven't
playing
played a ton of it. I
can't stop playing it. I freaking love it. I don't know why I love it. I guess I love it because we obviously both like Titanfall.
Like those. Okay, so Respawn Entertainment, for anybody out there who doesn't know, Respawn Entertainment, Vince Zampella, and those guys, they're the original creators of Call of Duty. They were the guys that created Call of Duty. Yeah.
Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2.
All those Call of Duties that made that franchise like huge and ridiculous and insane
is these guys.
They left Activision and they started Respawn, and then that's when we got Titanfall and Titanfall 2. So like these guys know how to make guns. They're probably outside of Bungie. They know how to make guns feel amazing when you shoot them, like in a video game. Like their video game shooting is probably. It's right up there. It feels amazing. And they bring this to Apex Legends. Like I'm not a big, like anybody who listens to this show knows, like I have not been a big battle royale fan. I dabbled in a little bit of Fortnite. I played a little bit of PUBG here and there.
But none of them ever really.
No, nothing really that I was all that interested in. I played some Blackout mode in the new Bobo, and I thought it was fine, but it didn't really do anything for me. I wasn't like I wanted to run out and buy Black Ops, when it came out this year.
Yeah.
I won't lie though, like Apex Legends, it's definitely sticking with me. It's got I see what you mean where you stop playing it and you want to start playing it again. It's that thing that you think about when you're not playing it.
Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about it yesterday and today even. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I just want to do better. So like
right.
I've top 5'd a couple times.
Okay.
So the few things this game does a little different than the other battle royales. You jump as a squad together. So someone is called the jump master, and you all jump down together. That doesn't mean that you can't break away from your squad while you're jumping down. You can, but it's very neat, and that it keeps you down together. One guy's in charge, and then it makes sure you're all together.
Because the whole point is like everybody else in the game is in squads of 3. So like if you're just going to try and run around solo, every time you see one person, he's got 2 wingmate. Like he's got 2 friends.
Chances are.
Exactly. So you want to stick together as a group because you will definitely have a better.
It's random
chance.
Loot, just like any other BRG. I'm coining that, by the way, unless someone else has.
Battle Royale game?
Yeah, BRG. Sounds good.
BRG.
Anyway, randomized weapons. Another neat thing it does on the map is it creates a hot zone, which is higher tier loot is prone to drop there as well. So on the map,
that's the one with the big beacon, right?
With the round blue circle, and there might be a beacon. And the other thing when
you're dropping, you see a big beacon.
And there's another thing they have is they have the supply ship, which randomizes where it goes on the map, and it also has very high end weapons and gear. The really cool thing is you can dive right onto the ship if it happens to be in your path. So that makes for some nice heated. Run straight to the guns and try and kill the other guys. I've had a couple instances where we've won those battles on there, but it's very tense because you see the other guys parachuting down, boosting down onto the supply ship. But
you can also revive your teammates.
Yes, you can revive teammates
as well.
And even if a teammate is killed, you can pick up their what do they call it? Their beacon.
It's essentially like, their beacon. I was going to say, it's kind of like their dog tag or whatever.
And then you can take that to a revival point and bring them back. They will have no gear, though, because, of course, their gear dropped with their body.
Yeah.
And then also the heroes, right? And Black Ops or Blackout kind of they don't have heroes. Everyone's the same, but they have, like, the abilities that kind of
they're like randomized, like, loot, just like everything else in that game where you're dropping with... You
have like healing class type heroes, you have assault type class heroes, defensive heroes, and so forth. There's only 8 right now. 6 of them are open to everyone. 2 of them you can buy with the in-game currency. I assume you can grind your life away and eventually unlock them as well, which will probably take forever. It's free.
Doesn't sound to be too bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's free to play. Mm-hmm. It's loot boxes, their monetization scheme. It's all cosmetics.
Every time you level up, you get a loot box.
Just like Overwatch, you get a loot box every level.
And yeah, it's all cosmetic, has nothing to do with the in-game. It's all just like weapon skins and hats and clothes and shit like that.
Exactly. Voice lines,
poses, and like it's all the crap that if you don't care about, you can just play the shit out of this game and you don't have to pay a dime.
So it's not like straight up Titanfall, like crazy flying around.
No.
You don't have the grapple hooks. You do have the wall runs. You do, you can run up walls.
Oh, you can scurry up a wall.
Yeah.
Like you can. Okay, so sorry.
Not like the straight.
Roll,
not the.
You can't wall run. You cannot wall run. You can run up to a ledge and you can kind of scurry up a floor,
about a floor. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's like a pretty good like one vertical kind of up that you can do, which kind of gives you a little bit more verticality.
Yeah. You can slide down hills.
Which you don't have a double jump. You don't have like all that kind of stuff. You don't have
the one guy, the robot dude. He has an actual grapple hook. Is like
he does.
Ability. I really like
one of the other girl. She can like turn invisible almost.
Yeah, Wraith. She has you have two abilities. You have your ultimate, and then you have like a smaller. I don't know what they call it, but your quick ability that recharges like 30 seconds, whereas the other one's a couple minutes. She can portal, like disappear and then come back. She can also set up like a tunnel, so your team, she can get far away from you guys, and then you guys can like warp to her essentially. Lifeline, which is my favorite character right now. She's the healing class. She's got like a little healing drone that heals everyone, and then she can call down like a care package which has like defensive items and stuff. I've had my best games using her.
Sweet.
And they all have different abilities. Like this one dude, I can't remember his name. He can scan buildings, so if there's enemies, you'll be able to see them. You got airstrikes. All kinds of
stuff. One thing I gotta say that this game does incredibly well is the ping system.
Yes, that is one of the other really unique features compared to all the other battle royales.
So like I've been playing it on PC, and the middle mouse button is they call it a ping, but essentially whatever you point at and you hit that middle mouse button, you will. So like for example, if I point to an enemy and I hit that middle mouse button, it's going to tell my teammates. It's going to be like, hey, there's a guy over there. And it's going to like highlight him.
And it puts a target indicator so they know what area generally they're in. So very easy to identify where threats are.
Totally. And if you like see like a bunch of guns or an ammo or whatever on the ground, you can ping it and let your teammates know.
There's a level 3 shield here. There's a backpack here. Like it's contextual what you ping.
Yeah, it's so nice. And you can point to a ground and be like, "Hey, I think we should go over there." And like it's so nice to have a way to communicate in a weird way without actually having to talk and be on comms with other people, because let's be honest, it's the internet and that can become a dumpster fire real quick.
With the headsets, oh my god, I've already had so many people. I'm like, okay, I just want to die because I want to get out of this game.
I haven't actually had that. I had one guy last night that was really good. I didn't even realize he had a mic till the very end. He's like, hey, good job, guys. Good game. And then that was it. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah, push to talk.
Yeah. So, but yeah, all in all, I feel like they've really looked hard at what Fortnite does and what PUBG's doing, and some of the other ones I'm sure they looked at as well. But they seem to really have figured out like, okay, what this works, this doesn't. I mean, initially they said like they had Titanfall mechs and they had wall running and all that kind of shit, and it just didn't work. You know, they just said it wasn't fun. It sounds like they've been really playing with a lot of those features and things for a long time, and this is kind of what they've come up with.
They said they're going to be adding stuff. It's going to,
Oh, they've already showed like they've already essentially like here is this is what we're going to be releasing over the next 6 months and when, and like they've already got another character and some more stuff coming out in March, and they're like moving forward like that. So far the game is doing incredibly well. In less than, I think the game has been out for what, 48 hours?
Yeah.
And it's got over, last I heard, they had 2.5 million players.
I'm sure they've crossed 3 by now.
Within the first 8 hours, they had over 1 million. So, being free to play and stuff, I'm sure really helps. But yeah, I mean, so far at least, it looks like it's got a lot of stuff to keep people playing. It's fun. It's so far it's the only battle royale game that has definitely kind of piqued my interest and makes me want to keep playing it and come back to it. And I suck at it. I haven't even got a full kill yet. Like, I downed 2 people in a game last night, but I ended up dying from the third person in their squad. And so I technically had downed them, but I hadn't killed them, so I didn't get the kills. But I'm still having a blast. It's fun.
Yeah.
So I will say that. It's, I don't know. I definitely...
a lot of people watching it. There's 250,000 people watching streams right now.
Yeah, there was apparently almost 400,000 at some point, like, earlier that I was reading somebody was saying. So it's definitely... I mean, people seem like it's... I mean, those guys know how to make a good video game. I mean, Titanfall 2 is still one of the best single-player campaigns, and even the multiplayer was hella fun. Those fucking calling down a Titan and, like, decimating the battlefield is awesome. It feels so good. I won't lie, I was a little, like, bummed out to find that this is what they were making and not Titanfall 3, but, such is life. So, but no, it's free on every platform.
Yeah, I dig it. I like the shooting. It's fluid.
Yeah, the shooting feels so good.
I like the movement. Like I said, I'm still getting the feel for it. A couple complaints I do have is seeing that they did have some innovations to the BRG format with the pinging and the group flying down, ejecting. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
Jump master stuff.
Yeah, like, that's cool. Like, I'm still surprised there isn't, like, why can't you just make a goddamn firing range so I could play with all the fucking guns? Like, how hard is that?
Well, I mean, you could, like, load up the tutorial again and go through there. There's a whole area in the tutorial that you can, like, shoot all the guns and play with them if you want.
Can you
for pretty much as long as you want?
There, though?
I don't know if whatever the character...
I didn't know that you could go around in there, so maybe I should dial it back.
I did the tutorial first.
I did the tutorial too, but I thought it just ended.
Oh no, there's a whole section there where you can, like, pick up the guns and shoot the targets, and I mean, I was in there for quite a while.
Oh, so then they do have
around with stuff.
Okay, I'm mistaken. I take that back.
You do have to kind of do the tutorial before it, because, like, that, to my knowledge, the tutorial doesn't, like, you can't just end it at any moment, but
it doesn't kick you out.
Right.
I'll check that out.
So yeah, I don't know.
And the other thing, I wish there was a solo mode.
Yeah.
Honestly, my issue is my teammates are fucking stupid.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't disagree, but I feel like with the way the classes and stuff work, it was really designed as a squad game. Like, you're a medic, how is that beneficial in a solo game?
You heal yourself. It's amazing.
I guess so.
You don't need to it's faster than the medical kits. It does way more healing. It's awesome.
Right. I haven't used it yet, so.
If you use the big Samoan guy, the Hawaiian guy, I assume, he's got his shield and stuff, like... I don't know. I would like to see a solo mode, and I guarantee you it's coming.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I've just played.
I still can't believe that thing is running on, like, a heavily modified Source engine, though. That's insane.
Yeah, it's cool. Check it out. The price is right. It's free.
Yeah,
so you don't really have an excuse.
You got nothing to lose.
I played more Resident Evil 2. I'm out of the police station. I'm in the sewers.
You say that like people... I don't know if you forget, but that game came out the day that you left to go to Hawaii, so we haven't talked about that game at all on this podcast.
No, but it's like, it's Resident Evil 2. If you played the old one, you kind of have an idea. It's old but new.
I feel like you're glossing over, like, a fucking amazing remake.
I'm getting there.
Is insane.
I was just saying where I was at. I managed to sneak in a lot since I got back.
I was going to say... That game is stressful as balls. Oh man, I gotta take that game in, like, stressful. Short bursts. Like, I play it and then I'm like, because, like, one, the original came out so long ago, and two, I never beat the original.
I beat the original multiple times, but because
that was a game back in the day that I would rent and I would play with, like, my brother or whatever. But it was hard, and we were like, you were renting games back then, so we had to give it back. Like. Yeah, fuck. game's stressful. It's so visceral, and it's I gotta play it in short bursts.
It is a masterclass example for a remaster, though. Remaster. It's not really a remaster. It's kind of like a remake.
Yeah,
bringing a
they've
classic.
even added quite a bit.
What's that? Oh yeah, they've changed tons. They've changed
bit.
And added tons of stuff.
Now and again, like, this might be my memory not serving me well, or it might be that I didn't hit the place in the game. I don't remember the, like, Mr. X being... Was he just, like, he was in the original, was he?
Yeah, it was the same. It was kind of the same.
Okay.
He would chase you around. It was great.
And again, I just don't think I got to that point in the original back in the day, so...
Well, that's because that was Resident Evil 3's thing, Nemesis. The whole
I remember
game,
that.
The whole game was freaking Tyrant chasing you around, which was very annoying. But yeah, when he finds you and starts chasing you around the police station and other sections of the game, it's like, God damn it. Your heart's racing. I have no ammo. I'm always out of freaking ammo. The zombies take forever to kill.
That is one thing I will say. Wow, the first time I shot some zombies, I was like, oh man, I'm playing this with a mouse and keyboard. I'm shooting these zombies in the head, and yet...
Yeah, like 10 headshots. It's like, what the hell?
Like 4 or 5 headshots. Like, I wasted a single clip, which was like 12 bullets on like 2 zombies, and I was hitting... I think every one of those was headshots, so...
God, try doing it on a controller with no aim assist. Yeah,
well... that's on you.
I'm playing on 1X.
Okay.
It's very pretty. It runs really well. It looks really good.
It looks very, very pretty. Everything maxed out on my PC.
Yeah, I probably could have saved some money buying it on PC, but I really wanted to use my Xbox. I got a good deal. I got a good deal on it, though. I didn't pay too much for it.
Yeah, me neither.
For whatever reason, the Xbox and PC versions, I can't remember where I bought it from. Green Man? No. CDkeys.com? I can't remember. One of those sites. It was like $40 or $50. Like, that's right price for me.
Hey, man. I'll take it. I got it included with my video card, so I'm really not going to...
But yeah, it is stressful. Like, man, I got to a new section now where I'm at, and I have like no ammo, and the enemies are just like brutal. And they're relentless, and like, God damn it! I'm like, I don't know if I need to like go back to a past save and just try and do some sections better, because right now I just feel like I get my ass kicked. So
it's a hard game. Yeah, no, it's incredible though. It is that survival horror. It's a game that it's funny because I've seen screenshots and I know what that original game looks like now. Mm-hmm. But this feels like this game looks like how I remember it looking.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, your mind does
like
that.
In my mind, like I remember it looking like this at the time in 96 or whatever it was when this game came out, or 98. Yeah, 98 when this game came out. That's kind of how this looks. So like, it's amazing how that kind of works. But playing it now, it's just like, holy shit! Wow. It's real good though. It's really good. I know that I understand it's not overly long. Like, I do know that it's like 6 to 8 hours, depending on how bad you are at the game on the first run through.
If you're fast.
Yeah. Apparently, like, people are already like beating it in like an hour and a half and stuff. But I definitely like it's hard because it's a game that I don't want to play at night because
I only want to play it at night.
It's scary as shit.
Yeah, up until
playing it with headphones on, with like the sound, and
up until the stupid Apex Legends games dropped out of the sky. I was playing it like every chance I got. Like, it was what I was playing.
No, that's fair.
That's fair. It's a really good game.
It is. It is.
Oh my
very,
god! It
very
looks
good.
so freaking bad in these photos.
Yeah. The original game is not good.
Wow! Holy cow! So, I'm just looking at screenshots. So, that's hilarious. I'm looking at a screenshot of a section of the police station. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good recreation of that. That's hilarious. Anyway, it's great. If you're a Resident Evil fan, I recommend checking it out.
Fair enough.
I played some Kingdom Hearts 3. I have no idea what's going on at all.
I don't expect to. It's fucking Kingdom Hearts.
I own game 1 and 2. I believe I beat number 1. That was like 1,000 years ago, so I don't remember anything. Number 2, it was one of those, I bought it, went instantly in the pile of shame, and like maybe played a tiny bit of it.
Right.
I'm a couple hours in, I will say. Okay. My daughter loves watching it, so that makes it really fun because Goofy and Donald are part of your party.
Mm-hmm.
So she enjoys watching it. Because they're always, like in the cutscenes, they're always talking, and she likes Goofy and Donald. It's rated E for everyone, so I assume there shouldn't be anything too bad in there. She hasn't been upset by anything.
At least not yet.
It's, I don't know, it's an air juggling combo game. Like, it's, I like what I'm playing. I'm very early. Like, obviously,
apparently I was gonna say the combat gets a lot more.
Oh, I assume it does.
It's like insane later on.
There's wall attacks and environment attacks.
There's amusement park ride attacks.
Chaining. There's countering, dodging. Yeah, it's solid. It looks pretty. I think it looks like you're playing a Pixar movie.
Right.
The voice acting is okay. I had to turn the subtitles off because with the subtitles on, it makes the delivery seem so freaking bad. So it's like the pacing and the way they speak or deliver the lines just seemed really off when the subtitling was on. So I'm like, I had to turn that off, and I'm like, okay, this is much better. But it's kind of like as if you were watching like a dubbed anime or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's serviceable, but it's not like, oh, this is amazing. Like,
well, and some anime is better than others about that stuff, right?
Yeah, and I assume it's different sections of the games, different characters. It'll vary in quality throughout, but I like what I played so far. I don't regret picking it up. That'll be me and my daughter's game. It'll probably take me 15 years to beat it, so and then by then I might have a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, maybe.
What's this? Override?
So Override.
I tried looking it up. Is it the Mech combat thing?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Mech City Brawl?
Yep.
Where did that come from?
Override Mech City Brawl. It was provided to me by the marketing company. It's interesting. It's a...
Did it just come out?
Yeah. It just came out like a few weeks ago. Did you ever play that game? I think it was a PS2 game, like War of the Monsters.
Yeah, I watched a trailer. And I wasn't sure that
I was hoping that this was kind of going to be like that. Unfortunately, it is not. It's a fairly... So I'm playing it on PC. I'm using a controller. The punch and kick are the 4 shoulder buttons. So it's like essentially one button per limb is kind of how it like works. Yeah. So like the right bumper and the left bumper, those are the punches for like left and right punches, and then the kicks. Yeah, is exactly. And then there's a like a shield button, which is like your Y button. So that's kind of like your shield. You'll kind of go into like a stance. There's a bar. So like, of course, like if people attack you too much, that the shield goes down. There's an arcade mode, which is kind of like a single player experience where the idea is that they put you into the levels, and there's these like, it's kind of like the kaiju in Pacific Rim. They're these like big monsters, and you're in like a giant mech suit, and you're trying to like beat them up and destroy them. The environments are fairly small. I get it, because obviously they kind of wall it off.
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing it on PC. Okay. Just because it makes the most sense for me and my household. But like, I don't know. the mechs are really big and they're kind of slow. Like, I don't know, there's a fluidity to the game that I feel like is missing. Like, everything is very kind of slow and deliberate, and then, like, I don't know if that was like a design choice where they were like, well, these are big like mechs that are supposed to be kind of slower and not. There's an overheat aspect to the game, so like you can't just punch and kick without like that, your mech kind of overheating, and then you can't do anything except move around until the overheat goes back down. There's kind of an idea like in the single player mode where you do the missions and then like you can kind of choose out of like 4 different missions, and there's like benefits to them that'll kind of show you like this is what you're going to get. There's an upgrade system, so as you play you can get like upgrade points and you can put them into helping so that you won't overheat as easily, or making it so that your punches and kicks do more damage, or helping it so that when you get low on life, you can do your super does more damage. Like all those like kind of little things like that. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And then there's also a weapon system, so that as you play, you'll unlock weapons that you can then equip. And it's funny because when you equip them, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to take them with you into battle. It just means that they will possibly spawn around the map at some place. And so like you can kind of run over to them, and then you can use one of the buttons to either pick it up with your right hand or your left hand, and then you can use it that way. I don't know, like it's like there's parts of there's some of the game that I'm really enjoying, and it's kind of this fun thing where you just go and destroy a city or destroy a countryside while you're fighting these giant kaiju. But there's like another part of me that is like, why are the levels feel so small? And like I kind of get it, because they need to kind of keep you in an area, because if they were too big, then they would have to spawn in more monsters or something to kind of keep things fresh. There's kind of different some of the things that they'll do is they'll like implement a timer all of a sudden will kick in and be like, if you don't kill all of these kaiju, then it's going to spawn an even bigger one. But if that happens, instead of just having to fight a tougher enemy, you fail the mission, which is kind of a weird design choice. They do interesting things similar to the XCOM games, where you're looking at the missions and it'll give you an idea of like how many days each mission will take to do. And there's like a big bar over on the right that's showing like, okay, like the horde will be discovered in this many days. So it kind of gives you, so it's kind of a thing like the big story beat will happen when the big timer counts down to 0. There is a multiplayer mode, so I won't lie, that is where this game kind of fell apart for me, where like the single player arcade stuff is kind of fun and kind of serviceable, and I'm gonna probably keep dabbling in it to see kind of where it goes. As of right now, it's pretty standard, like, oh, there's big giant monsters destroying the world, and you come from a robot fighting league and they're like, hey, come help us destroy these monsters because you have a big giant mech. Yeah, exactly. And that might help us. So the story so far is pretty whatever. But the multiplayer just doesn't feel good. Like it's like when you're fighting another actual mech, it's slow and the controls are just, I don't know. It didn't land for me. The feeling of actually fighting another human in that game just felt super clunky and just really kind of slow and not great. So far I've had better experience actually playing the single player kind of arcade side of it. I might try it again online to see, like, the game did just come out, so there has been a couple like updates already to, like, just little things here and there or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. I was a little disappointed, and then maybe that's kind of on me because I was hoping for kind of a War of the Monsters type game, which was just so fun to just trash a city while you're fighting other big monsters and stuff.
Like, a lot of fun.
It was so, and so I was kind of hoping that this would sort of be that. And in some ways it kind of is, but it just, I don't know. I feel like it just misses that mark. Mm-hmm. So,
well,
yeah. At least so far. Like I said, I'll probably still mess around with it. The matches are so short that you can kind of jump in, play for 10 minutes, and jump out if you want. Like, it's kind of nice for stuff like that.
The art style. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And there's unlocks, so there's like cosmetics. So like when you finish a level, you get like an unlock, and like some of them are just really silly cosmetics. You get hats and clothes and stuff like that for your mech, which is kind of like what the hell. But they're fun, and there's different like skins that your mech will kind of dress up like and stuff. So there's that kind of a system. So yeah, cool. That's kind of that so far. And there's a whole variety of mechs, I will say that. Yeah. Like, I'm playing as the one character, but there's like 15 mechs or something like that. So, and different feel, different. Some of them are super fast. Your classic fighting game kind of type characters. So yeah.
While I was on my trip, clearly I had my Switch with me.
Obviously.
So I played a bunch of Smash, and during downtime or on the flight, I downloaded Piranha Plant. I do not like Piranha Plant. I will say that Richter and Simon, no surprise. Yeah, those are my dudes. I'm loving my Castlevania guys a lot.
Okay.
And man, that game's awesome. I still love that game. I have like a backlog growing on my Switch because I bought a couple games since, and it's like I just want to keep playing Smash. So I played some of that.
I mean, it is the last Smash game to come out in a long time. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think that you'd be done with it already.
And the light mode takes forever. The adventure mode. I don't even know.
I've heard that. I've heard it's like insanely long.
I don't know if I'm anywhere near finishing that. I have unlocked all the characters, though, in the regular mode, classic mode, because I've been going through that.
Okay.
As well. I haven't beaten classic mode with every character either, but that's quite the daunting task.
Jeez, dude, what are you even doing with your life?
Playing this goddamn adventure mode. It's so freaking long.
Man.
Yeah, with that, I did download Dragalia Lost as well while I was in the US. So
lucky bastard. Does it work while you're up here?
Yeah, it works. I had a secondary Gmail account that I set to my country as US, and while I was there, it let me download. I told Teacup that, and I'm like, hey, maybe you can just set up another Gmail and say you're US, but it won't let you download it here, even if you say your Gmail account's a US account.
Yeah.
So I've got it installed, and I played it a bit. I haven't played it enough to really have anything to say. It seems neat.
I don't understand why on earth they wouldn't release that in Canada. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, what is Nintendo thinking?
I don't know. It makes no sense either. It's like a Diablo with you have a party of characters.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you swipe on the screen, like you just one finger movement, swipe for dodging, tap for attacks. Yeah, okay. It looks really nice.
I mean, it looked cool. Yeah. I really wanted to kind of play it. I was really excited for it.
And then it has all the gotcha freaking mechanics of like unlocking 5-star characters and so forth, and it's got all that kind of BS as well. Hence why it's free to play. But I'll have more to say when I play with it more.
That's the Nintendo game that did not launch here.
It's in the
by the way, for anybody who's curious, like what the hell we're talking about.
It's in the US and in a couple other countries as well. The reason why we raise our eyebrows, like why didn't they release it here, is usually we get all those games first in Canada, kind of like the beta market,
quick test run almost.
Because we're smaller, so the games on iPhone and Android always seem to release here first, even before the US. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, usually.
Except for this one, which came out in October. And it's not here yet.
And they still... I don't even know if they're planning on ever launching it here at this point. Like, that's the weird thing.
It's got music. Maybe it's music? I don't know. But it's like it's a new IP, so it's not like it's an existing IP, so it can't be legal stuff. I don't know.
I wouldn't think. Like, I really don't know.
Well, Dane, with that being said, let's move along into our news. The news. And, Epic's latest PC exclusive is Metro Exodus. And for some...
Oh, you mean the Epic Game Store?
Epic Game Store. Oops. I'm missing a word. Yeah, the Epic Game Store.
Sorry, I was like, wait,
latest
Epic
PC
isn't publishing that
Metro
game?
To join the likes of Division 2. Except for, man, people were not very happy and started review bombing their existing games on Steam. because it was available and for purchase on Steam.
So this was interesting and is still interesting because, like you said, that was available for pre-order on Steam and had been for quite a while. Then they made this announcement, and that's when you could no longer buy it on Steam. But they've also announced that if you bought it on Steam or pre-ordered it on Steam, you will get it day one and date with everybody else that's getting it. It's just that they're not allowing anybody else to buy it on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like it's an Epic Game Store exclusive for a year. But yeah, it's odd to me. So that instead of refunding people their money, they're just going to allow them to purchase it. They're essentially just going to get it on Steam.
Yeah, they're honoring all the ones they pre-sold, and it'll be updated through the future with patches and whatnot. But
yeah,
if you didn't already buy it, you can't buy it on Steam.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's such a weird thing. I mean, it makes sense. It sounds like this was totally the publisher. I read an article where they were saying like it sounded like it was a fairly quick thing, and the developer didn't even really realize that it was happening until almost the announcement, and they were like, yeah, we were kind of just about as surprised as everybody else was about the announcement. But it sounds like they wanted to make that money. So
I liked what we played at PAX. I didn't like the TV you played on because it was really dark and hard to see stuff, and I think I complained about that. But I like the other Metro games, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up.
It'll probably be one I'll skip.
Yeah,
personally.
It's one of the.
Although if it comes out on Game Pass, then who knows? Maybe I'll just play it on there anyways.
I think it comes out really soon, doesn't it? Maybe next week. Yeah,
dude. There's 15th. A bunch of stuff coming out like right soon here.
Actually, you know what? I can maybe get a code for it, but to be honest, I won't be able to play it.
Like God Eater 3 is coming out soon too.
I don't care about that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not upset about it. Whatever. This is going to be the landscape. Games are going to go back and forth as they get bigger cuts, bigger pieces. They get to keep bigger pieces of their pie. This is going to be an ongoing story, back and forth. And I'm sure Steam's going to make changes, because if they don't, it's kind of dumb. But hey, competition's good. At least it's not a race to the bottom. It's a race to devs keeping more of their money.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
There you go.
Resident Evil 2 is Capcom's biggest launch since Resident Evil 7. And I think it might be catching up to Monster Hunter. Apparently they sold, where's the number here? I want to say 3 million. Maybe there's no number in this story. I read a number somewhere that they did like 3 mil in days.
Oh, I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about.
I thought that was this story. Oh well, I linked the wrong story. Hey, Resident Evil 2 is doing really good because it's really good. Surprise!
Yeah, it makes sense, man. It's fucking good. So good.
Did I have the other story here? Speaking of doing really good, I don't have it here. Kingdom Hearts moved 5 million copies apparently. It's pretty freaking ridiculous.
I'm not surprised by that.
No,
there's enough people out there that really wanted that to be a thing.
Weren't we just talking a couple weeks ago about how good the industry is doing and everything's up, and up? Yeah, video games doing well.
They're doing all right.
No surprise. And some of these Japanese companies, especially Capcom, has just been on a roll with Resident Evil 7, Monster Hunter World, now Resident Evil 2. That's
yeah.
Good. Now, I don't really want to talk about this story. I just put this story in the outline just to say, fuck Facebook. And that everyone should quit using Facebook. And if you haven't already, you should, do it over time. Because Facebook sucks. Let's be honest. They're terrible with their information. They freaking do all kinds of dumb shit. They're just super greedy, shitty company. And Facebook sucks. So, anyway, I got a story from Eurogamer, and I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to talk about Facebook anymore because it just makes my blood boil. I just dislike Facebook so much. They've just been accused of friendly fraud and intentionally misleading children into making in-game purchases, and it's typical Facebook. Just they suck. Stop using Facebook. Someone should make a new one, Fanbook, where it's just your family and your friends, no ads. Maybe you subscribe to it. I don't know. Let's go back to the original social media, email and texting directly to the people you know and care about.
Look, Grandpa, I'm still using MySpace, so...
Yeah, well, MySpace is better than Facebook. I'm just sick and tired of their shit. Like, they just keep doing, like, just greedy, slimy
This isn't...
stuff.
The funny thing is that this isn't something that they've done recently. This was something they did years ago that is just now coming to light.
Yeah, this is before all all the election crap and all the data
I do want to point that out. Like, not to say that they're any better now. I'm just saying that at least now. This was 5 years ago. Just about this story happens. This is back in 2014, right?
The election stuff, the hacks. This sell us up the river. It's under the guise of, we're doing a favor so you can see your friends' pictures. Your friends and family stuff. Meanwhile...
anytime something's free, you gotta wonder why.
It's just like, ugh. Anyway, I hate Facebook. That's the only reason I put that in there. I have Facebook, but I don't actively use Facebook. I post through Hootsuite and other things, and just random photos once in a while, just so my mom doesn't get upset at me. But like, I don't browse. I'm not liking people's stuff. I'm rarely I might check it on a browser once or twice a month, if even that. Like, I just don't have time for it. I don't have patience for it anymore.
Fair enough.
So I don't even have it on my phones. It's more I don't want their shit on my phone because I don't know what else they're doing on my phone, and I just don't trust them being in my shit.
Listening to your shit,
doing whatever they're doing, because they've proven over and over again that they're up to no good.
Yeah.
EA, move along. EA removes FIFA loot boxes to avoid legal trouble in Belgium. They couldn't find a happy medium, so they're like, I guess we'll just take them out so no one goes to jail and we don't get fined.
Yeah, not surprising.
That's awesome. It's not awesome if you live in Belgium and you're addicted to Ultimate Team and you want to get these characters, because I guess you can't get any of that stuff anymore if they ripped it right out. But the same,
I have no idea. I don't play FIFA. I don't know how that works. But
it's one of the more slimy freaking loot box controversies or systems out there. But like I said months ago, it doesn't come up in hardcore gamer nerd culture podcast website news culture because it's sports gaming fans that don't visit your IGNs and everywhere else and listen to podcasts. They're mainstream gamers, and they're just like, oh, whatever. The only reason I know it's slimy is because when I know people that don't play anything else, and they like admit they spend thousands of dollars, like, because I play soccer.
That's crazy.
But I don't play the soccer games. But the soccer guys that I know who play, they've told me they've spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to create their ultimate teams. And then it doesn't carry over to the next year. How is that not insane? And how are they not pissed off? I don't understand. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you wonder why EA is able to screw up Star Wars and make so many other gigantic screw ups, because they got Madden and FIFA propping them up on profits on the back end.
Yeah.
EA sucks too. Let's throw that out there too. Screw up Star Wars, screw up loot boxes. Like,
I don't know that they screwed them up. I mean, I think that the loot boxes were a shitty thing to do to be.
They never screwed them up. They just mastered the art of being douchebags. I'm in Facebook. They probably go out for lunch all the time.
Man, we got a salty Rick tonight. Jeez.
Yeah. Machinima has shut down. Over 80 staff have lost their jobs.
This is shitty. This whole thing just sounds like the word, like
very weird.
So this was fucked, man. I don't understand. So their parent company, the company that owns Machinima, confirmed that 81 staff members have been laid off and the channel shuts down. And they just randomly one day set their entire YouTube catalog to private. That's it. That's all they did. They just, like, out of the blue, the whole thing is on private. So instead of like it going away, right? Oh, dude, so many videos, millions of views. Like, And it just, to me, it just doesn't make sense.
They collect, they've posted like community videos and stuff, right?
They made a ton of content.
Yeah, they made content and they sourced content.
They were one of the biggest like YouTube channel partner people. Like there was at some point there was a ton of people partnered with Machinima to like as their a parent company for them and stuff. Like it's crazy. And they just shut off all those videos. Which I don't fully understand. Like, why on earth would you, instead of just keeping all that content available and closing out or moving Machinima and like shuttering them, why wouldn't you leave that content up?
That makes no sense because you'd still be getting ad revenue. It's like,
I know,
like,
I don't understand it at all.
Off free money,
right?
12 million subscribers.
Yeah, they were a huge channel. They're saying like that a select number of Machinima employees remain with the company, which is now actively providing services to supercharge the combined portfolio of Otter Media, said a Machinima spokesperson via gamesindustry.biz. Machinima has ceased its remaining operations, which includes layoffs. Russell Aarons remains with Machinima and is assisting with transitional activities as she explores new opportunities. Given that the channel was home to a number of creators' videos, the closure of the channel means a potential loss of a huge library of content.
Like creators didn't even get a warning to download their stuff, and had they not had backups, they've lost their demo reel essentially.
It's insane.
Or the ability to create their own channel and build their own
communities. This just affected me 2 days ago when I went looking for freaking Transformers videos the other day.
I forgot they made a Transformers show.
They were on Machinima, and that shit's gone now. So I'm hoping that will get reposted. I mean, in my particular case, I'm hoping that will get reposted somewhere else. But as of right now, that shit's just gone.
You just leave it on forever.
I don't know. Unless there's licensing or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of, is that there is some weird licensing thing where if they needed to, licensing is the only thing I can think of, and they're just you know what, I don't want to deal with that shit, so we're just going to shut everything off. And
pull the plug.
We don't need to worry about it. That's fucking weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah. So looping back to our what you've been playing section. Obviously Apex Legends came out, and then there was a whole subset of the internet that was like, oh, that's cool, where's my Battlefield Titanfall 3? Sorry. Battlefield. Where's my Titanfall 3? Where's my Titanfall 3? This is cool and all, but we want Titanfall 3. And they said, yeah, we're not working on Titanfall 3. And that, I guess, apparently Titanfall 3 kind of merged into this. And then I guess because the internet was really upset, the day after that, someone else from the studio, what's his name? I think his name's in here.
Vince Zampella.
Yeah, we are working on more. Yeah, Vince Zampella let out a tweet. He's like, yeah, tons of things planned for Apex in the future. We're also committed to listening to player feedback. We are also working on more Titanfall for later in the year. Yes, I said the T word. We love being able to experiment in this crazy universe.
I wonder if that's their Oculus thing. Because they announced an Oculus VR Titanfall thing a while ago. Yeah, they were. That was a partnership with. That was 2 years ago. That was before they got bought by EA. I want to say, where they had an Oculus. They announced a partnership with Oculus to develop a Titanfall thing for.
Reading
Oculus
the article
Rift.
here, it says it's unclear what the new game will be, other than it won't be free to play like Apex Legends. Oh, and it's not a VR game.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe they're just doing a different story in the Titanfall universe.
I don't know.
Was there really? I can't remember the ending. Was there any reason that we would need a third to continue?
No, besides the fact that game was rad.
It was rad, but if we just had a different Titanfall with Titans and a different story, it doesn't need to be 3, right?
Not necessarily.
Maybe it's Titanfall, the single-player campaign that was missing from the original Titanfall, so they don't need a 2. It's really a 3. It's the first game.
Yeah,
that we didn't get.
Gonna happen.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is rad. Seriously, go play it.
Oh, go buy it. Go play it.
So, yeah, everyone was like, ah. And then that tweet is like, oh, maybe. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Nintendo news. This is pretty huge. I think this dropped like the day after we recorded or the day I left. I can't remember. But
yeah, I think it was the week.
Nintendo just like stealth released a tweet and we're like, hey, check out this video about a development update for Metroid Prime 4. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're restarting and Retro's doing it.
We hired Retro and we're essentially getting rid of everything that we've done so far, and they're doing it from here on out.
And then people are like, yay, because we really like Retro, so that's awesome. But at the same time,
super shitty though, because now
we gotta wait another 3 years.
Like, that was what they announced that 2 years ago. So I mean, yeah,
it's good bad news. Instead of releasing a shitty Metroid like that Abomination Team Ninja one, oh my god, what was the name of that one on Wii U?
Oh man,
it was bad.
That too.
It was bad.
Other M.
Yeah, I think that's what they wanted to avoid. So good on them for pulling the plug. And the thing that sucks is we just gotta wait longer. But hey, now we know Metroid Prime 4 is in very capable hands because the Prime trilogy is amazing.
I mean, that is the original team that made those games. Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't say the original team because I don't even know
who's there anymore or what's going on.
Yeah, I don't even know how many people from Retro that made those original games are even still there anymore. That's 10, 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I saw an interesting tweet from an ex-Retro dev and is like, oh, I guess the cool game I was working on ain't coming out anymore from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, because I mean that, or they've got multiple teams. That's the other thing. Because like
they're one of the studios.
Nintendo also did announce that it's not. So like they're rebooting with these guys, but they're also working with the team that was building the game as well. So like Retro's coming in and taking over, but it sounds like the original team that was in fact working on it is still involved somehow. So
maybe
like,
they're
it's
repurposing
very interesting.
Assets and stuff. Like, that would save you some time and money, right?
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure like what, but it looks like they're restarting from the beginning, kind of making sure that everything is where it is or whatever, but
Retro is just one of those studios everyone's been like, what are they up to? Like, they haven't done anything in years. Like, what's going on? And they're not doing Metroid.
Well, they did the Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, that's a Wii port.
Well, they did the original one as well, and then they did the Wii port of it.
How busy does a Wii port keep your studio, though, right?
I have no idea. I don't make fucking video games.
That's why people. That's
really hard.
That's why people were like, "What are these guys up to? They haven't had something new in so long."
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good bad news. The bad news is we got to wait longer. The good news is Metroid Prime 4 is going to be dope now. We hope.
Here's crossing my fingers.
Dr. Mario World was announced for mobile. That's pretty much it. It's coming out this summer. Dr. Mario on mobile. That makes freaking sense. You would have think they would have done this 10 years ago.
Yeah. I'm still trying to understand how the controls would work on a phone, but I guess we'll find out.
Jeweled game and other puzzle game that's on mobile. Swiping and tapping.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll find out.
The voice... You probably saw that. I don't know if you saw this press release. I saw the press release in my inbox, but this story comes from Kotaku because they put it together much more elegantly. The voice chat software in Fortnite and Switch is now available for all devs.
Yeah, the SDK.
So you can.
It's very interesting that I still wonder why the hell Nintendo didn't just do this themselves. Like, it's just,
I don't know. They had the weird cell phone freaking multi-cord Y cable just disaster for Splatoon through their app. Yeah. And I haven't to be honest, I haven't played Fortnite on Switch. I didn't realize that it had built-in voice chat on Switch. So that's great. It's something that seems pretty damn obvious. So now they're helping people use it, and it'll be in more games. It'd be cool if they put it back into. Oh my god! If you look at the story in the show notes, the disaster that is using the app to chat to play Splatoon.
You've got your cell phone connected to the controller, so that you could, because you got to use the fucking app, and then you've got the dongle thing that connects in, and it's got a weird breakout, and like one goes to the Switch and one goes to the headphones. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh man, that is something like that I would expect to see on an Apple stage. So you got the two living the dongle life hardcore right now.
Yeah, thank God that this is coming.
Here's the funny thing about this as well, is that this only works with cell phones with fucking headphone jacks.
Oh yeah.
So you'd also need a stupid dongle out of the cell phone to connect it from the USB-C into a headphone jack, which would then go into a headphone jack that would then run into the breakout thing. Then the other breakout thing runs into the Switch itself, which then both of those go into the headphones. Like, what a nightmare. Yeah. Good Lord.
Thank you for making this happen. Though Switch is clearly not my multiplayer platform of choice.
No, me neither. But still, like, how hard would it have been to just, here's
I
voice
still
chat.
don't understand how it doesn't support
Switch.
goddamn Bluetooth headsets. There's another freaking...
Apparently latency. I was doing some, looking into this, and apparently it's got to do with, latency and stuff, and bandwidth.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sweet. So they put the cheap Bluetooth chip in the Switch here.
No, it's not even that. It's it's actually funny. Will Smith,
the Tegra thing,
who formerly of Tested, he was explaining it actually today, literally on the Bombcast.
Oh, really?
And he they were asking him why on earth isn't it just Bluetooth? And he was like, it's latency. It's got to do with the bandwidth and the stuff, and people are like, well, when you plug your headphones into the controller on a PlayStation 4, that's Bluetooth. And he's like, yeah, but it's also specialized to run the network stack and everything, and the stack is all different. It's all proprietary to Sony. You can't connect just a Bluetooth headset to it and it won't work.
Because when I do my car phone to my car Bluetooth, it's fine for audio, but if I try to watch a YouTube video or play Netflix with my daughter, it's a half second or second out.
Exactly, which when you're playing a game or you're doing voice, that
don't work.
Shitty. Yeah. So he was saying that's what it's actually got to do with, and that's why it doesn't support the Bluetooth.
So what you're telling me is Switch sucks now.
I don't think it's just the Switch. I think it's more of a Bluetooth problem. Thing, but anyway,
because my phone does it in the car.
Yeah.
PlayStation news. Sony sends off PlayStation 3 Plus games with Metal Gear Solid 4. Basically, this is our last month with PS3 and I believe Vita support. They let us know a year ago.
They let us know a while ago.
A year ago, they let us know this is coming. Jesus Christ is here. Ugh. The other thing is they've upped the cloud storage from 10 gigs to 100 gigs, which is that is rad. Because to be honest, my storage on my cloud storage, I think it's full or close to full. I had to go in and delete stuff. I remember not too long ago.
Wow!
Just because I'm I don't have any room for freaking cloud saves.
Wow, fair enough. That would be shitty.
Sayonara PS3 and Vita.
Yeah, they're putting them out to pasture.
Heavy Rain Studio Quantic Dream is no longer making PlayStation exclusives. I believe this was rumored months ago. I had heard this rumbling that Detroit was probably their last PlayStation exclusive. So here we are. It's official. I guess they will be making multi-platform games from here now. Who knows? Maybe. Well, these are Sony first-party games, so I don't think they'll ever show up on other systems.
Well, that was the interesting thing, is that Quantic Dreams was never a Sony exclusive. They exclusively made games for Sony, but they were never a first party. They weren't owned by Sony.
No, so but I think the IPs that they worked on belong to Sony, do they not?
I believe you're right. I believe those are, because Sony published them.
So we'll see what happens in the future. Good luck to them. Maybe it's a good game. Detroit was really good. I really like Detroit. Speaking of Detroit, you still have my copy of Detroit, don't you? You piece of crap. And you still haven't beaten it. Just play it with your wife.
It's sitting right there.
Play it with your wife.
It's sitting
Trust
on my
me,
shelf.
play it with your wife. You guys will...
She might hate it. There's a lot of story in that game, but I'll give it a shot.
It's like watching a movie. You guys like bad movies. It's right up your alley.
I like good bad movies, though. Come on, dude. Jeez.
Xbox news. We've got some. Woo! Introducing Xbox Game Studios. So Microsoft Game Studios has renamed itself to Xbox Game Studios. Yay.
Okay.
We're serious about making games because it's Xbox Game Studios. Anyway, they changed their name. They changed their name. They made some announcements about their growing commitment to the platform and the Xbox is their big gaming. I don't know. I didn't read it all, but they're pretty. It was basically a name change.
So essentially what they're saying is Xbox is our gaming brand across all devices, no matter how or where you want to play or who you want to play with.
So getting rid of the Microsoft.
So instead of this, so we're changing the name for our game development organization from Microsoft Studios to Xbox Game
Microsoft
Studios.
sounds like Windows, whereas Xbox is across everything. And then they also announced Halo, what is it called? Outpost Discovery. They're going to have a traveling road show for Super Halo fans, like a multi-day event. You can buy tickets to...
That happens on the same weekend as PAX.
Does it?
Yeah. At least for the one on the West Coast. In Anaheim.
Whatever. They should have had it at PAX. That was dumb. But they're selling tickets, so it sounds kind of cool. They got a video. It's hitting Orlando, Philly, Chicago, Houston, and Anaheim. Speaking of PAX, I probably need to put in vacation request for that.
Already done it.
This was all news out of their Xbox Inside episode that recently went out a couple days ago. That brings us to our public service announcements. Axiom Verge is going to be the next free game on the Epic Game Store. I believe it's still Jackbox Party Pack, or is that already rolled over? No, I think it's still going because this comes on the 7th. So by the time this...
So literally by the time you listen to this, it will have rolled over to Axiom Verge.
No Jackbox Party Pack for you.
No.
But yeah, go log in your Epic Game Store and add that to your digital pile of shame. Never install it or play it. But hey, you'll own it.
Heck
it's a cool game. It's a Metroid-like.
Yeah, it's fun.
We already talked about this. But I didn't talk about the free games. PlayStation Plus, free games for gold. Or
it's already
free games for gold. Man, I'm mixing services up. PlayStation Plus games. The games for gold is next. For Honor and Hitman.
So this is For Honor and the Hitman Season 1
coming to PlayStation 4.
Are your PlayStation 4
and along
games.
with the Metal Gear Solid 4 that we mentioned earlier for PS3.
Along with Dive Kick for PS3.
Cross-Buy with Vita. Gunhouse.
And
Rogue Aces.
And Rogue Aces.
Vita, and both cross-play with PS4.
Yeah.
Hitman's cool. That's a good game. For Honor's cool. That's another good game. I believe.
What?
For
Honor's just an interesting game. It's fucking hard.
I think it's a cool game, but I just never got into it. Yeah. Xbox games with gold, PSN Plus.
What are you doing?
I'm being ridiculous. I'm just mixing them both up so they both don't feel bad that I just did it this one. I did it to Xbox as well. So the PlayStation games for gold for February. Just kidding. Xbox games for gold are Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon, which is freaking awesome. And I played that on Switch. Played the shit out of that on Switch. Super Bomberman R. Assassin's Creed Rogue, which I never actually played, but I hear it's pretty good. That's a 360 back compat on Xbox One. And then Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. It's original Xbox back compat on Xbox One. It's Xbox One
Sweet.
For Xbox One.
What?
It's for the Xbox One. For the Xbox One.
Okay. All right.
Sense?
Done. Sure.
You know, the Xbox. For Xbox.
It's all very confusing.
I played that game. I can't remember it. I think I remember liking it. I don't... It's just... I think as I play more games, I think games just get bumped out of my memory.
I mean, you played Curse of the Moon and loved that.
Yeah, but that was this year.
Yeah.
I know I played Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy because there's a Jedi Knight 2, which I know I have on PC because the box is sitting on...
I played Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy on PC way back in the day.
I have the box in my box room, so I know I've played it. I just can't remember it at all.
I know that we saw Assassin's Creed Rogue at PAX before it came out.
Ago. That was like one of our...
But I didn't actually play
one of our first PAXs.
It might have actually been our first PAX.
New games.
Together, at least.
Okay, we're moving on to Game Pass. This is our final thing of the show. Crackdown's just a reminder. Crackdown 3 is coming to Game Pass next week. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is also coming as well as a couple other games as well. But the reason I put this in here as a reminder is, hey, Crackdown 3 is coming.
Crackdown 3.
So get on your Game Pass and you can check it out as part of that subscription service. Or you can buy it if you're crazy and don't want to just spend $10 to play it. Apparently there's a multiplayer beta this weekend as well. And the Division 2 beta is going to be going on as this podcast goes up.
Yeah, the super cool Kawaii beta.
What?
I can't remember what they're calling it. It's the private beta. The Division 2 private beta is this weekend.
I don't know how they call it private when if you just pre-order the game, you get into it. So it's not like it's that private. You can just buy your way into it.
You could also just sign up on a website like I did.
Yeah.
Play it that way.
I got a code sent to me. I also registered for the website.
That's what I mean. I registered and I got a code sent to me as well.
I got a code through registering, but I didn't register right away. I think I registered like months after that opened up, so...
I don't remember. All I know that
I think it was announced at E3.
So. Right.
Which is like, I know a bunch of people who registered for it at E3 got their name scribed into that statue.
Right. But not you.
No, because I didn't even bother. I was like, whatever, it's a freaking beta.
Fair enough.
That statue in the garbage.
No, they didn't. They put it in their front area.
They threw all the names in the garbage.
Oh, sure.
They kept the statue. They threw everyone's names in the garbage.
That would be kind of funny.
Dane, that's it.
Really? That's it?
We're back. House cleaning. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
And of course, make sure to like, follow, subscribe on the YouTubes, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're Geekoholics everywhere. And yeah, of course, if you use one of the many podcasting platforms that allow ratings, mainly iTunes and Apple Podcasts, which seem to be the industry leaders for stat tracking and growing podcast audiences, regardless of what you think of Apple devices and the whole Apple ecosystem, you'd be doing us a solid if you left us a review. Maybe even if you just went on someone else's Apple device and left us a review. That would be great. We don't ask for much. That's about it. Oh, maybe we ask you to follow us on Twitter too. Oh, and we ask you to join our Discord. Join our Discord. bit.l.
But we have free games over there.
bit.ly/gapchat. You got to do that in a browser. It doesn't work in Discord. If you do it in a browser, it'll take you to the Discord, and then you can join it. But yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway, do that. And I don't have anything else. Dane, I think that's a podcast 191 in the gigabits and in your ear holes. Until next week.
I gotta go play more video games.
Peace.